Thanks for joining class today. We are using a foam roller, a pillow, and the wall today for class. So we are going to start with a foam roller by our feet. Place your feet back on there. Hands firmly pressing into the mat. If you have a pillow right now, take it out. You want your head to be flat on the ground with your shoulders. And then from here, keep squeezing the hands down into the mat as you lift your hips. And then keep pushing through the feet so that the hips stay lifted. Slowly roll down one vertebra at a time. So hands are heavy onto the mat, shoulders open. Push into the feet, feel the back of the legs engage. Squeeze the glutes to lift your hips as high as you're comfortable. And then you take an inhale up here, try and lift a little higher. And with your exhale, you'll roll back down. So 3 more like that. Hands firmly pressing down. Pushing through the feet, engaging the glutes to lift through the hips like the knees go past the toes. And then you take an inhale, stay lifting higher. The exhale rolls you back down. Good. Again, lifting up. Squeeze through the glutes. And then roll down. Your nose is straight for the ceiling. One more time. And then you'll roll back down. From here, pull the right knee in towards your chest. Elbows wide to the side. Flex your foot. And then your left leg is going to start to press out and pull back in. So it's the same movement that you were doing before. It's just single leg. 5 times press out, back in. Last 2. 5 times total. 1 more. And then switching legs. This one goes onto the foam roller. Pull the other one and the foot can be flexed. You'll straighten through the right leg to press away. And then you'll pull back in. Elbows are wide. You're pulling your leg close towards your chest. Keeping your arms pulling to the side so that you can stay connected to the back. I think we have 2 more. I got distracted. Last one. Good. And then both feet go back onto the foam roller. Pull the foam roller close to you. And then hips go up to get the foam roller underneath the hips. Take one leg up to the ceiling, then the other one. Both legs up to the ceiling. Point and flex the feet. In the meantime, Seymour sleeps. Alternate the feet. As you're alternating, pay attention to your knees to see if they are even. If they're not, just see if you could even the mat. Then you're going to take the ball of the foot together for running. So alternating heels. Working on the knees, staying in alignment. Like if they were in a track going back and forth. Good. Now, from here, keep your feet lifted for the ceiling. I call it a Barbie point. It's not like a super pointed foot or super flexed foot. It's like you pointed and just your toes pulled back a little bit, like your foot's going to glide into a high heel. Even if you don't like it, we're going to have that foot position right now. So from this position, let's start taking the feet overhead so that you look at your toes. And then you take the toes away from your sight. You're looking straight for the ceiling. Your toes will come overhead and then away from you. See if you could get the legs to squeeze into center even more so that the outside of the glutes start to activate. And that might make you want to pull into a Pilates V. If you get there, let it happen. On the next one, begin circles. So once the feet go overhead, the legs separate about shoulder width away from you, together and up. The circles look like really long ovals. Oh look, a car alarm. Or I guess listen would be a better way of describing it. Reverse. One more circle. And then going to frog. So you're going to bend the knees in, pull them close towards you, and then reach away and pull back in towards you. When you frog away, squeeze the legs into each other to engage the glutes, then pull the knees back in towards your shoulders. Feet away, squeeze the legs in. Heels squeeze into each other the entire time. If they happen to be gliding, sometimes that happens. We just try and keep them together. Once more. And then pull back in. Grab onto the knees. Try and pull in towards your chest. Point through the feet. Hopefully you didn't just eat and this doesn't feel like torture, and it probably feels really good. Oops. Legs back up to the ceiling. The right leg is going to go out as far as the left one can stay pointing up for the ceiling. Then it comes back up. And then you're going to cut that about 50% of the distance. Keep the leg there and begin little tiny eeny circles. And then reverse the little tiny eeny circles. You might feel your core working. Take the leg back up. This time the left leg goes out as far as the right one can stay up. Notice where that is. Bring it back up. And then go about 50% of the distance for little tiny circles. About 6 to 8 circles depending on how fast you're going. You then want to reverse those circles. And then pulling back in towards center. Now we're going to do TikTok about 50% of the way, and not like the TikTok app, but more like going out 50% of the way, pulling back to center than the other way. I realize that as I said TikTok, I now see the app logo in my head. I don't know how to use it. 3 more to each side. Two, going us about 50% of that distance. Last one. So now from here, you're going to have your feet parallel and then Pilates V. So knees parallel, Pilates V. We're going to practice doing this by seeing if we could squeeze the muscles on the outside of the glutes to pull the knees apart, and then letting them relax the center. And again, you engage through the outside to pull apart, and then let them relax the center. Again, squeeze the outside of the glutes, Pilates V. Back to neutral, Pilates V. In this case, neutral is parallel. 4 more. I think I added a bonus one. 3, 2. Once more. Keeping the Pilates V, begin scissors, where you just reach as far as it feels like you start to feel a stretch. Once you get there, see if muscularly you could pull a little bit more, and then switch until you start to feel a stretch. Use your muscles to pull more into a deeper stretch, and then switch. So if I'm trying to pull this top leg towards me, you want to feel the top of the leg and the abdomen pull in, and that will help you lengthen. Switch. On the opposite side, when the leg is lengthened out, if you squeeze the glute more, it'll help you open through the hip and you point through the foot. Switch. 3 more to each side. Or I guess, up and down. 2. And 1 more set. Okay. Gonna take the legs up, push the foam roller away. Keep it close to you and the knees in. From here, we're just gonna practice curling up and using the foam roller to help us curl up. For any reason this bothers your neck, just take your hands behind your head instead. But if you can, stay pushing into the foam roller. You're gonna tuck your chin in and you push into it to curl up, and you lower yourself back down. And again, wide shoulders, push into the foam roller, push it away to curl up, and then back down. And we'll do about 4 more like that, drawing the abs in to curl up and down. Lightly pressing into the foam roller. Feel like the crown of the head is reaching for the ceiling. 2 more times. And once more. And if you didn't like that, sorry. We're done with it. So at least that part works. Take your hands behind your head. Lengthen your neck away. Now we're going to curl a couple more times, but this time you get to use your hands to elongate through the back of the neck. Your foam roller is still behind your hamstrings, between your hamstrings and your heels. If you have the mobility to pull all the way in, go ahead and do. If not, you can just put something else in between so that it feels like there's something that you could press against. And as you stay pushing into your foam roller with the heels, you'll begin curling up and back down. So we're using our arms to help us lengthen through the crown of the head and lower down. The heels are pulling in so the back of the leg staying connected. 2 more times. And once more. Cool. From here, take your arms for the ceiling. I like to interlace most of them and keep index finger and thumb reaching. Pull the shoulders wide to reach back behind you as far as you can. Let the shoulder blades go up and back down. Good, you're still pulling the foam roller in close to you. 2 more times. Once more. Take your arms out. Sit yourself up however you'd like. Now the foam roller goes behind you. Okay, so we want to have, let's start with the sacrum, like as heavy as you can onto the mat. So it feels like the sits bones are chasing the heels. Feet will be together, knees together. We're going to take the right leg to tabletop. We're going to pull it in close towards you and then away. And you'll just pull it in towards you and away. As you pull in, it's like the knees trying to come towards your forehead. And as you reach out, squeeze through the glute so that you feel it support the weight of the leg. Again, you pull and reach. Try one more. And then taking that leg down to meet the other one and lift the other one. Same thing, the knee comes in towards your forehead as much as you can. And then away, engaging through the glute to help you support the weight of the leg. You pull it in, you reach the leg out, pull back in, to reach away. You can keep both glutes squeezing if that helps you connect as the leg straightens. 2 more. 1 more. And then the leg can go down. We're going to flip over to our side. Whee! I need to go back. Ideally, you are in alignment with the back of your mat. Hand above the head, and the knees are bent in front, towards the front of the mat. Heels connected. And now lift the top knee up as high as the hip can stay in place. And then back down. If you need to, you can place your hand on your hip to see if it's staying in place. If not, both hands can be behind the head. Good. So that your arms can stay connected to your back. And if you can feel connected to your back, it'll help you kind of feel a little bit lighter on the mat so that it doesn't feel like we're collapsing into this shoulder or into this arm. If that's happening, we need more engagement through the back. 3 more. 1 more. And then the knees stay together, heel goes up and back down. Same thing, only as high as you can within the hip joint. This is too much. Good. Oh, now I need to readjust because I overdid it the first time. I did it too much. Good. Oh my gosh, Seymour is snoring. Alternate. Knee, heel. His snoring sounds so relaxing. It's funny. 3 more. 2. Last set. Good. Then both legs are going to straighten towards the front of your mat. I went too far. There we go. Good. From here, the top leg goes up about hip height, keeping the arms connected to the back. Turn out, and then turn in. Turn out. Turn in. Push through the leg as you turn out, and as you turn in, if you catch yourself kind of like rolling back and forth, you're just moving too much, keep it small. Good. Out, back in. 3 more. 2. Last one. Yay! You're done with this. Let's do the other side. Connecting our arms to our back. We'll start with the knees bent. We're at the back of the mat with the shoulders and the hips. Good. And then from the heels, well, not from the heels connected to lift the knee and back down. Lifting up and lowering. The hand can always be placed on the hip to make sure that you are staying in place. I like my fingers facing back. Forward, I don't mind as long as I can stay open through my shoulders, but I tend to round forward. So play with what works for you and then keep that. Get up and lower. 3 more. 2. And then just the heel comes up and back down. And again, you'll know if you go too high because it'll roll your hip forward. Good. It's like you're lifting the ceiling with your heel and then you lower it down. 3 more. Last 2. One more time. Alternating heel and knee. So knee out and down, heel up and down, knee and heel. Whenever I teach this one and say knee and heel, it reminds me of Legally Blonde, the bend and snap quote. If you guys don't know it, look it up on YouTube, it's funny. Good, 2 more times. Then from here the legs will straighten out towards the front of the mat. Top leg goes up about hip height to turn out and turn in. So you're just working on turning the leg out and back in. Knee to the ceiling, knee down towards the ground. Good. At the same time, the leg is reaching away. You may feel work through your side. Couple more times. And then you can lower and be done with those. Yay! I know. Those were rough. Arm side and front. You want your nose to float off the mat. Let's actually have the feet about hip width apart, flat onto the mat. And then floating the nose, shoulder blades up and down the back. Palms can be facing down, or they can be facing in towards each other. You can try moving them in both positions to see what feels better for you. And then the palms will stay facing in towards each other. Begin to roll towards the crown of the head. And then the crown of the head will reach past the foam roller to help you lift up. And you lower yourself back down. Draw the abs in and only lift as high as you can keep the abdomen pulling in away from the mat. Again, going back up for 3 more. Last 2. And then once more. You can reach back towards a child's pose. You'll bring your foam roller with you for your arms, where it'll stay on your hands as you reach back. Take a couple of breaths here. Yourself up. We're going to finish with your arm circles on the foam roller. So, pull it this way. Like we got like 2 minutes to do these. Foam roller. And you're back. Hands will start straight for the ceiling. Wide shoulders. Let's start opening the arms out to about shoulder height and then back up to the ceiling. So just going out to shoulder height and up to the ceiling. For 3, 2 more, and last one. We'll start circles, the arms open, they reach down for the hips, straight up above the shoulders, back out, down and up. I'm going to keep the shoulder blades reaching down for the mat like you're trying to take up space. Last circle. At the top, reversing. Good. Your nose is straight for the ceiling. Last circle. Hands for the ceiling. Let the fingers reach for the ceiling gently. We're not going to do the big spread fingers, we'll just do gentle fingers. And then you'll start running like you're running in slow motion. The hands will switch at the same time. They will meet when they're straight up for the ceiling, then they bypass each other. You're reaching long through your fingertips, keeping your arms connected to your back, whatever range that means. One more on each side. Both hands will reach down to the side on the mat. Wide collarbone, push firmly into the mat. Let's take one leg up to tabletop, followed by the other one, and we're just going to balance here. So your hands are firmly pushing down, your upper back is working, and that ideally helps you balance. If you're going all over the place, you can take your arms wider if needed. Good. So, just taking a balance, point through your feet and flex through your feet. It's a nice little distraction. 2 more times. And you're going to take your feet down one at a time. If you can, you're going to tuck your chin in to roll yourself up to a seated position. And if you want to roll off, that's okay too. Sometimes I like to roll off. Then we'll do a standing roll down. I didn't think I'd like rolling down until I tried it one day, and I'm like, ooh, this is fun. Okay, so for the roll down, you can do it up against the wall if you like doing it on the wall, or you can just do it hanging out. I'm going to do it on the wall first, so your own foot length away if you want to do it there. If not, feet about hip width apart. If you're on the wall, you find a spot for your sacrum. Take an inhale, draw the abs in. Exhale, round forward to about hip height with the shoulders, or as far as your sacrum stays on the wall. Circle the arms about 4 times in one direction. And then reverse. Take an inhale, draw the abs in. Your exhale stands you back up nice and tall. And then one more time. Inhale, draw the abs in. Exhale, round forward. Circling through the arms. Reversing them. Letting the arms go, breathe in. And your exhale brings you back up. And then you guys are all done. Thank you for joining class. I hope you enjoyed that. I'll see you next time.
As you're rolling your feet, start to roll over the heel a little bit. Oh no, we are having a misbehaving dog.